Great question here. The 86 Mets versus the 96 Yankees. Who do I have? Now, as a Yankee fan, first and foremost, and I do like the Mets. I respect the Mets. That Mets team, I did like a whole lot. Uh, I rooted for them to beat Boston. You talk about compelling stories. They'd won 108 games that year. They looked like they were going to be a dynasty. I mean, it looked like the White Gooden and Darryl Strawberry were going to be the 1-2 punch. They were going to be the Shaq and Kobe of baseball. I mean, yeah, pitcher and a fielder, because they looked like they were surefire Hall of Famers, dynamic duo. Interesting story. 10 years later, they returned to the other side of town and played for the Yankees. Strawberry did win the World Series with the Yankees. I think Gooden got a ring. He didn't. I don't know if he finished. I don't think he finished the whole season in memory, but it was interesting how the coin flipped, but they weren't the same guys. Obviously, you understand situations occurred, but that Mets team in '86. I still remember being in my grandma's house, and I remember when that ball, Mookie Wilson hit that ball and went through Buckner's legs. And it's a shame that Bill Buckner had to be ridiculed because it just happened. But I was so happy to beat Roger Clemens. And who knew I'd be rooting for Roger Clemens years later? But at that time, beating Boston was the cat's meow. Ray Boogie Knight hitting that ball. Ron Darling, Sid Fernandez, and Lenny Dykstra, who was basically a triple junior whopper, broke Pete Rose, but he looked like he was going to be something there for a minute, for a moment. Keith Hernandez, who was always front and center, being with the right place, right time. Davey Johnson was the manager. The Mets were always kind of amazing when they won. I got to admit that. There was something about the Mets at the old Shea when they won, and it's something about them that definitely triggered that reaction. So, that was a very compelling time if you're a baseball fan. There was nothing like that one. Now, fast forward to 96. The Yankees going up against Atlanta Braves. Atlanta had been the most dominant team in baseball. I said the Buffalo Bills of baseball in the 90s because it seemed like every year they were in the World Series. And they came up short, or they lose this or that, but they were there. They had won the World Series in 95. They beat Cleveland. Dave Justice, who later became a Yankee, came up big. But the Yankees were down 2-0. Remember Andrew Jones, who looked like he was on his way to being historical? And still like a Hall of Famer, Chipper Jones. I just want to remember when Maddox and Avery and Schmaltz and Glavine, those guys were bad. Bobby Cox did an incredible job. But Joe Torre, with Paul O'Neill, Darryl Strawberry, Joe Girardi, Lewitz, Mariano Rivera, Earl Duncan, Tino Martinez, who was clutch, Bernie Williams, classical guitarist, musician, great fielder.